Hi everyone, this is Norman Kochnek here from Eyes on Cricket with Norman Kochnek. An official statement has just been released on the fifth test between England and India. The fifth test has actually been cancelled. Fifth test has been cancelled following ongoing conversations with the BCCI and ECB. We can confirm that the fifth LV insurance test between England and the men's teams, of course, which was due to start at Emirates Old Trafford Stadium, will actually be cancelled. Not the first day delay, not the second day delay. The actual match will be cancelled due to fears for a further increase in the number of COVID cases inside the camp. India are unable to field a team and will insist on forfeiting the match. Whether that actually means that the game will mean points to England, I don't know, but at this stage that would be horrible. I don't think they'll do that. We send our sincere apologies to fans and partners for this news, which we know will cause immense disappointment and inconvenience to many. Further information will be shared in due course. So again, if that's an official statement from the English ECB, the English Cricket Board, and I'll repeat it for those that may have just come on air. The official statement is that the fifth test between England and India has in fact not been delayed or postponed. It's been cancelled, fully cancelled. So there'll be no fifth test, which is very disappointing, of course, for viewers on my channel. Following ongoing conversations with the BCCI and the ECB can only confirm the following: that the fifth the LV insurance test between England and India men's teams, of course, is due to start today at Emirates Old Trafford, will be cancelled. No longer going about, not played at all. There'll be no delay. There'll be no decision down the track. It's been out and out cancelled. And again, I'll repeat, due to the fears of a further increased number of COVID cases throughout the Indian camp, we've heard of course, Ravi Shastri, the assistant coaches, the physio, all coming down with COVID positive results. Admittedly, the players at this point are negative, but there is a second batch of results they're waiting on. And there's fearful the players aren't in a position to decide. So due to the fears of a further increase in the number of COVID cases inside the camp, India are unable to field a team and will instead forfeit the match. So it's been cancelled, but also India have been forced to forfeit the match based on the fear of the COVID-19 cases in their camp. Normally when you forfeit a match, the result goes to the other side and they win a match, but I don't know whether this will be the case here, considering it's a COVID-19 out of their hands situation. It's not necessarily injury or lack of availability of players or something to that effect. It is purely based on the COVID-19 situation. So you would argue that's a very severe way of looking at it. So in fact, we send our sincerest apologies to fans and to partners, those that are financial partners, the broadcasting partners. So to this news, which we know will cause immense disappointment and inconvenience to many. Further information will be shared in due course. So they really haven't come out further than that at this point. So there was some concerns about it being perhaps delayed 1 or 2 days, but the facts are that, and those that are coming on deck now, you may want to hear this, and I might get a few people to talk about this now, about the way in which this has been brought to play. It's quite a disappointing situation, to be honest with you. I mean, let's be honest, it's not something that you would ever want to have. It's something that people would not like to hear. So again, I'll keep repeating this because there'll be people coming on deck. Saman Shatri, there's no play. So yeah, Rick Tech, no one's batting first, no one's playing first. And I'll repeat the message once again for those that are coming on deck. The official statement from the English Cricket Board, the ECB, on their website and through to all the media people such as myself, the official statement about the fifth test between England and India is that the test match is cancelled. Not played tomorrow, not later, not postponed. It's been cancelled. It's right off the agenda. This test series will no longer be a 5-test series. It'll be a 4-test series. Whether the forfeiture of India, whether that means, and the question is, so does that mean India are the official winners? Well, Aaron, that's interesting. you would argue at this point that they'll win the series if the forfeiture and the cancellation is based on something which is out of their hands, like COVID-19 basically is. Then on that basis, then it will probably be a cancellation, which means no result, which would then give India the series. Yes. Now, if England really want to argue the toss, they could walk onto the field, stand there up to a certain point of the game and claim forfeiture that way. And that could be technically then deemed to be a victory to England. But I don't know. I don't think that's the way England will approach it. I think, with all due respect to India, they'll approach it by way of cancellation rather than a forfeiture and default loss to England, if that makes sense. So I'll repeat, just in case we didn't hear it. Following ongoing conversations with the BCCI that ECB have had, the ECB can confirm that the fifth LV insurance test between England and India men's teams, due to start today at Emirates Old Trafford in Manchester, will in fact be cancelled. Again, making that really clear, it's a cancellation of the match. That's the ECB announcing the cancellation due to the fears and further increase the number of COVID cases inside specifically the Indian camp. India are unable to field a team and will instead forfeit the match. England, out of due respect, are probably making that not a victory to England. Technically, it'll be a forfeiture. Normally, that could well be deemed to be a victory to England, but it's understood that it's a cancellation, which will be, I'm assuming, no points, no game did not take place. There'll be no loss deemed for the match. So effectively, that does give the result in favour of England. Sorry, in favour of India for the series 2-1. And the ECB sends out, again, as I said earlier, sincere apologies to fans and partners for the news, which we know will cause immense disappointment and inconvenience to many. The further information will be shared in due course. So that's the point of it. Now, what that will mean is I'll make some changes to the post. I'm going to make the cancellation. So I'm going to make that the words cancellation of test. That'll be the words I will put. So forfeiture by India Okay, so that's the new wording of the heading. It'll be live cancellation of test, India versus England, fifth test, Old Trafford, forfeiture of by India. So there'll be no points lost. So that's one thing that's important. There'll be no points lost. Okay, for those that are joining, Per and Jay, you're back. Today's day is correct, Ashmi. Sorry to be late. I thought it was at 6. Well, it was at 6, but the reason being, Per and Jay, so Steve, why I've gone earlier, and I'll repeat the statement that I've received, official statement there from the ECB. In fact, we might even get a screenshot of that. I'll get a screenshot of that. Let's have a look at that. Let's have a screenshot of that. I'll have to get a screenshot of that for sure. Okay, so again, for those like Ruben, match cancellation first play only. No, actually, no, that's not the case. No, that's not the case at all. No, Rowan, Long and Bolton, that's not the case. It is not cancelled. No, it's been, no, the official statement, guys, the official statement on the ecb.co.uk website is the official statement, and I'll share it if you like. Official statement. So there's no postponement, there's no delay by any teams. Okay, that's not the case. There's no delays, postponements, nothing like that. The official statement is the fifth test between England and India is officially cancelled. And I'll repeat that once again. Following on ongoing conversations with the BCCI, the ECB, so the England Cricket Board have done this. They've actually can confirm that the fifth LV insurance test between England and India men is due to start today at Emirates Old Trafford will be cancelled. Not postponed, not delayed, not replaced next week by another. No, cancelled, gone. Due to fears of a further increase in the number of COVID cases inside the camp, India are unable to field a team and will instead forfeit the match. So there's no delay. We send our sincerest apologies to fans and partners for this news, which we all know will cause immense disappointment and inconvenience to many. Further information will be started in due course. So I'll now go about posting it on my community page. But it's an official statement. This is not hearsay or something other than that. It's actual fact. So that is actually the case. So please note that this is not some sort of delayed situation. So we're now looking at a situation. There'll be many changes to the team. In fact, it won't matter what changes because the fact is that it is actually, it's the reality of it. So that's what we need to be aware of. Okay, so I'm going to post it, guys, on my community page. You can see it, and these are facts. This is not hearsay or some commentating making up something. It is in fact. Okay, so this is actual fact. There's no doubt about this. It's been officially, it should be on the ECB website, ecb.co.au. Sorry, ecb.co.uk will have this statement. Okay, must officially be placed, and I'll make note of that. Okay, guys. Sharjah, it is a shame. You're right. What happens now? They don't play any more matches. That's it. The series is finished. The players get an early reprieve off to, basically get an early reprieve off to the so-called IPL. But it's good news for India. They won. It's just not really good news. I mean, so the fifth test has been India unable to field a team due to concerns of COVID-19. So they have been unable to actually have. It's quite incredible, actually. There's no other way of looking at it. Okay, it's been done. So if you go to my community page and to the link to the ECB website, which we all know, you'll be able to see this. Okay. If you go to their YouTube channel, it'll be fact. It'll be pretty well broadcast all over the place now, guys. So you can be sure this is fact. So it's ECB and the website. Let me have a look at the website there. ecb.co.uk. Okay, .co.uk is the website, and you can't get much more official than that, I'm afraid. All right, so please note that situation. I'll just update again. If you want me to repeat it one more time, we'll do so. The official statement, okay. The official statement from the fifth test between England and India. The actual game, the fifth test match has been cancelled, gone, not delayed, not postponed, cancelled. Following ongoing conversations with the BCCI, the Board of Cricket Control of India, the ECB, the English Cricket Board, can confirm that the fifth LV insurance test between England and India men's teams due to start today in literally a few hours' time at Emirates Old Trafford in Manchester will be cancelled. And this is specifically due to the fears of further increase in the number of COVID-19 cases inside the camp, which is effectively the Indian camp. India are unable to field a team, full stop, and will instead have to forfeit the match. We as in the ECB, and obviously the BCCI would also be in the same boat with Team India, send our sincerest apologies to all Indian, England fans and worldwide cricket fans and partners, broadcasting partners and partners, for this news, which will now cause immense disappointment and inconvenience to many. Further information will be shared in due course. And Richard Vernon, I'm actually live to air. You want to come on live to air? You can quickly come on to talk. Come on. The fact is, yeah, that let's make it also clear. At this point in time, there is no Indian player that's COVID positive. None. No COVID-19 positive result for an Indian player, or for that matter, England player. So neither England or India are COVID-19 positive. But the fear of that happening, they cannot guarantee a team going on the field due to spread, due to other conditions. No fear. We've got an IPL coming up soon, and the next time. No, Richard Vernon said no. He'd upset the fan base because he stuck to the truth. Well, I don't think, Richard, you're right at all. What you're suggesting, I don't think you're right. All right, guys. So that's the word. I don't need to brief you on it anymore. If you'd like to go to this, you can go to it and have a look at this situation. So therefore, it would leave. I'll make this clear, because it's a cancellation by ECB on the basis of a forfeiture by India. If it were a forfeiture by India based on something that can be controlled, India just didn't play and England went on the field, started the match and went off the field, well, that would be a forfeiture and that would be a result in England's favour. Because it's a forfeiture and then immediately determined as a cancellation by ECB, game's not even started yet, the game is off, not delayed, not postponed, it'll be a no result, and that will bring it back to an England situation where India will win the series 2-1, the so-called Patali Trophy, and India will now gain or will now win the trophy. Previously, it was in England's hands, and if they'd drawn this match, it would have been retained by England. But no, India have now won the Patali Trophy 2-1. Okay, so Indians should be rejoicing. It's a great moment, certainly a fantastic moment. So, guys, please note that and have a look at this video and share this video, because this is official news now that you can share. And if you share the link to people, that will be a great advantage for people to get to see something which is straight off the press. There's no dilly-daddling there. There's no conjecture. There's no place. So there was some discussion about Jadeja being replaced by Ashwin, Wood coming in the side. We heard Butler was coming in the side. We heard Ali was retained. Pope would be out. And even Mohammad Shami was being talked of replacing Bumrah, who was meant to be resting. That were all the conjecture which was out there as we speak. So that's interesting how that's not the case now. And that's quite incredible when you think about it. So there you go, guys. All right. And thank you, Brian. I think I may be the first person to have gone live to talk about this. I'm assuming. Damn these weak ECB security protocols. We wanted to see. I can't blame ECB. You can't blame anyone. It's happened. It's happened. So you've heard it here live first, guys. And I've retitled the calendar. Please share this to all your colleagues, because this is official news. This has just come out. It's something rather dramatic. And, I like to have this put out there as quickly as possible. So again, guys, I'll repeat it one more time and then we'll go off air from now. Okay. So again, Pisani has been cancelled, not postponed. Okay. We'll just repeat that one more time for the sake of record so we can get this clear. I'll read out the statement as such, and it's on my community link on the page. You can now see it, but let's have a look at this. We'll just repeat it one more time. And this is, very much an incredible statement to come out. Let's get this up here. It is an enormous statement, quite frankly. The ECB website has sent through all the media partners have been sent the same message. So it's actually Danny Rubin has sent that out, and the official statement goes, and you can see that there. You can all see it's an official statement. Fifth test, okay, between England and India has been cancelled. All right. So I'll read out one last time for everybody to read. Okay. So following ongoing conversations with the BCCI, this is the ECB official statement. So the England Cricket Board have actually released this, and this is how the statement goes. It's on the ecb.co.uk website to confirm. Following ongoing conversations with the BCCI, the ECB, English Cricket Board, can confirm that the fifth LV insurance test between England and India men's teams, due to start today in only a matter of 2 hours at Emirates Old Trafford, Manchester, will be cancelled. not postponed, not delayed, cancelled. Due to fears of a further increased number of COVID-19 cases inside the camp, the Indian camp at this point, India are regrettably unable to field a team. So it's not a matter of any choice. They're not able to field a team. Even though they still, at this point, COVID-19 negative, the fear is that they may have more that are, in fact, positive. We don't know that, and they're able to field a team because of it. So, and Vamsi Krishna, that means, yes, India won the series. Let me finish on that. Should there be a penalty for protocol breach to India? They may well be Abhishek Sharma. I don't know. Okay. So they're able to field a team. We send our sincerest apologies to fans and partners, both corporate partners and broadcast partners of the news, which we know will cause immense disappointment and inconvenience to many. Further information will be shared as it comes in due course. But that actually, what that means, if it's a cancel, England are announcing, the ECB are announcing a cancellation. So that cancellation means that there's no result, no match, no delay, no postponement, done and dusted, no fit tests. It's as if we had 4 tests. The results after 4 tests are 2-1 in India's favour, so effectively India have won. Congratulations, India, they've won. If the forfeiture had happened due to other circumstances, other than India not filling a team specifically for COVID-19, they may have been a situation where a forfeiture leads to the other side winning, which will effectively mean England would be 2-2, and they would retain the Patality Trophy. But because this cancellation has been accepted by the ECB, despite it being a forfeiture of the Indian team, the fear of COVID-19 spreading, they've decided not to have the test on at all. Any of the participants, no postponement, no delay. It'll be put down as 2-1 victory to India, and then India will effectively win the Patality Trophy, taking it from England, because England have the trophy at the moment. They will relinquish it to India. India will win it 2-1. Again, if it was a draw, India would have regained it. They haven't. So Richard Vernon's just made a comment. No Indian player has tested positive, so how can they not field a team? Well, Richard, that's an awfully presumptuous point. We may well find that there are players positive. Richard, you don't know that. Though apparently there's a further test that hasn't resulted yet. So if that's the case, then that test would mean that effectively you would have a situation where that may bring out a positive result. So in all due respect to the Indian team, they've done the right thing, because if they find that into the second day of the test, the 3 players they're positive, or 5 players are positive, well, that would even be worse. So I think out of due respect in terms of the health situation, occupational health and safety. Now, Devant, so on Sky's Mark Butcher says it will be a 2-2. I very much doubt that. I'm seeing it as 2-1. Weather report, please, Dawn. I know at least one day will be washed out. Vishwar, JD, there's no match being washed out. The game has been cancelled. Okay, ECB says that the game has been cancelled, so there'll be no match. I can't see it being 2-2 at all. I'm going to try and get some confirmation of that. Richard Vernon, if you're there, we need to get confirmation as to whether that changes the situation. At this point, a true cancellation in the sense of the word means there's no result. It can't be 2-2. You can't give the result to England. I don't think that's going to be the case. I mean, forfeiture of a team not to play, in some cases you would argue that's an immediate victory to the other side. But because it's due to COVID-19 being such extraordinary circumstances, this can't turn into points for England. Mark Butcher's talking through his bottom, I think. England seems to be banned for the World Cup. Why? This has got nothing to do with Ron Roberts. It's got nothing to do with England at all. Now it's too boring to IPL for the cricket fans. Well, Arnold England didn't have to bear with me talking. India has forfeit. That means serious level. No, it's gone from forfeiture to cancellation. Forfeit means you give over, win the victory to the other team. A cancellation means a game that's not on at all. There's no result. Very distinct wording difference, and I'm pretty sure that's right. I'm going to try and find out more facts about that, but I'm pretty sure it's a. I'm going to actually ask Danny Rubin. I mean, Yeah, there's no facts about that at all. There's nothing more. So as I was saying to you, that the assistant physiotherapist Yogesh Palmer is tested positive. So there'll be no results. Okay, that means 2-1 to England. Mark Butcher's wrong. This is now as if the fifth set never existed. Correct. This is official now. Format series 2-1. Exactly. There's no forfeiture meaning loss. It's actually deemed by the ECB to be a cancellation. It's their wording. Cancellation. They haven't used forfeiture and loss of points. They've said cancellation. That means 2-1 as a result. Done and dusted. Now, it's not about how can you assign blame here. COVID-19 is not about assigning blame. Okay, it shouldn't be a matter of that. Okay, because apparently not only was Shastri at that event, Tom Harrison from the ECB was there. So look, there's a lot of concerns about who. No, and that Tej Bahal. No, it's not 2-2. It's 2-1. Cancelled. Correct. Cancelled implies exactly result cancelled without a ball being bowled. Therefore, there's no result. It's a no result match, not a forfeiture and result. Okay, it is a so-called cancellation. Okay, got that clear, guys? Okay, for those that are just joining us, I'll do it for the last time. I'll just record this last time, and we're looking at. Yeah, I'm just getting some confirmation from about a press conference as well. Was waiting on to see if there's any confirmation that doesn't look like there's going to be any. Well, there probably will be a press conference, but it will be rather thwarted because without the facts on, you would have to argue this can't be. Just going to see if there's any other facts coming out, guys. Yeah, there's a bit of cheekiness going on. About this. I love this. Some of the English commentary is saying, "Oh, does that mean that all the Indian players can't play in the IPL next week?" Well, that's an intriguing one. But don't forget, if there's one test that's been complete and they're negative, we're not saying the next test might be negative as well. So if that comes out negative, they get tested again. They may then be able to supply that situation quite clearly. So, we'll see an award ceremony for Series Trophy Man of the Match. Well, that'll be interesting, Anna Jingle. You would think they would have to do how they're going to do that. It may be very, very controlled. We'll wait and see how that develops. I haven't been following the actual broadcast as yet because it hasn't come on as it started officially. So we may see some live sports coverage. There's no confusion whatsoever. Rats. Okay, rats, whoever you are, you goose. There's no confusion. It's very, very clear. The statement is extremely clear. Okay, the confusion may be due to you. I can't help you, but the reality is there has been an official announcement made by the English Cricket Board. That's official. There's no two ways about it. It's an official statement. There's no retracting that. Fifth test between England and India is cancelled, not postponed, nothing, due to a forfeiture of the Indian players not being able to play due to COVID-19. But there'll be no points derived. There'll be no result for a ball being bowled. England and India have cancelled that match. There's now 4 officially. A 2-1 victory to India. That's it. Mark Butcher's talking through his backside. Okay. Ask over Shahal and Michael, what's your opinion? Obama, Babu, we'll talk about that another day. That's not. I think that Chahal didn't play that well the first 29 matches of the IPL. That's why he was nominated. How much loss will each ECB have? Any loss of there's loss in terms of financial loss will be substantial. In terms of points loss, there'll be just be zero, just zero. No penalties. I can't imagine there being penalties. It's not worthy of penalties. Okay, so that's what the reality is, guys. There'll be no penalties. Okay, as far as I'm concerned. So are you all happy with that? We'll just have a bit of a look there to see. Poster, hang on. Have I done the wrong one? Oh no. What have I done? Have I hit the wrong link, guys? I think I have. That's right. We'll get that sorted, guys. It looks as though that we may have to just change that situation there. All right, let's have a look. Which one have I started here? Which one is this, guys? All right. So again, I'll repeat that in a minute. I'll just seems to allow me to put a different image there. I've really stuffed that, haven't I? Let's have a look, guys. We'll just get that done. So effectively, the game has been cancelled, guys. There's been a cancellation occur. There's nothing other than that. There we have it. Okay, let's see if we can now see that happening. So I've just updated the actual so just waiting on a bit of confirmation there, guys, that we'll then just go it. We'll edit that and we'll put that to another day, put that to later tomorrow, and be done with it. Okay. All right. So you got that clear, guys? So official statement there that's up there on the screens. Okay, so I'll just have to get a bit of a thing going on so it's clear, guys, so everybody knows what's going on. Okay. All right. So this is actually a cancellation of the test. Now, for those that don't know, let's have this here clearly. So cancellation of 5th test. Portion of India, and therefore series 2-1 okay. Okay, I was going to enter that. So let's get this up, guys. Let's get that done. There we go. All right. So if this is actually a forfeit, the SA, which would have won both series against England and Australia. Exactly. That's a good point, Baramarani. It stupidly can't be a victory to England. 0, because very similar to the situation between South Africa and Australia. Australia didn't go to South Africa, forfeited basically because of the COVID-19. Therefore, South Africa would have won the series, but there was no result to that series. Typically, this match, there's no result. 2-1, India won. Pretty good situation, really. For India, I'm afraid to say. Not that we should say that. It's not really what you'd like to say, but it is the case. So the series scoreline will be 2-1. Dravid's right. MS Dhoni mentorship, Rahul Vakadi will be fantastic. I said that. I just said that 20 times, that it's in fact a cancellation, point blank. India forfeited, but the ECB have looked at that and said it's an ECB cancellation, game cancelled. Okay. So there's some comments here. Points, I don't think there'll be any points given at all for this match, but there may be a rejig. Will there be an Afghanistan Test series? No, it looks unless the Taliban have a change in their situation. Women, it won't be. Say Nayaka official. It's not to all, you idiot. Sorry. Where do you get that fact from? Do not. I'm going to block you if you make up, because it's complete rubbish. Okay, you haven't got. I'm going to put a timeout on you, mate. If you're going to make up rubbish and quote it, the reality is there is no result. It's 2-1 to it. There's definitely going to be a 2-1 situation to India. Whether they like it or not, it's a fair call. Okay. Okay. And I'll repeat it again. I'm going to read out the press statement by Danny Rubin. It's gone on ICC, but the ICC is not the determining body here. The official statement for the 5th test between England and India has been cancelled. Following ongoing conversation with BCCI, the ECB can confirm the 5th LV insurance test between England and India men's, due to start at Emirates Old Trafford, Manchester today, will be cancelled due to fears of a further increased number of COVID-19 cases inside the camp. India are regrettably unable to feel the same. We send our sincere apologies to fans and partners for this news, which we know will cause immense disappointment and inconvenience to many. Further information will be scheduled in due course. So don't mention the postponement there, forfeiture. Okay. All right, guys. That's all I need to talk about. So thank you for joining me. Please share this to everyone. This is worthy having a look at. There's certainly a lot of information there for you to take on. India win the Patali Trophy, correct. Bio-bubble breach by Shastri and Kohli, no penalties, no repercussions. Abhishek Sharma, we don't know about that at this point. That's something that I can't comment on. I don't know anything about that at all. So we'll wait and see what the story is with that. All right, I might try and get some opinion from myself whether a partner wants to come on. Yeah, no Indian players tested positive at this point. That is a very good point. I'll just see whether a partner wants to come on. Just means an early night for us all, guys. We can turn on to other sports. Not that we want that result, of course, but yeah, so it's been called off, cancelled. So there's no question about anything other than that. The word cancel is the word they've used. So, all right, all clear on that? Okay, guys. Well, thanks for your time. Don't forget to view, like, and share. Those that are on the show now can go about hitting the subscribe button. This is news which I've delivered to you immediately when it came out live, so you can discuss it as well. Any penalty level will be levied against the BCCI. No, I don't think there'll be any penalty as such. The COVID breach, I don't think, is something that's part of this discussion. What was your favourite Indian play this series? Indian play, look, a combination of Rahul, Rohit Sharma, then you have to add in Bumrah and Thakur and their performances. All play well. In fact, you can keep going. You can talk about even Kohli and punts as well. So India, quite likely that this is now a 2-1 victory to India. They've won the series. Congratulations. They deserve it. Even though this match hasn't gone ahead, they still deserve it. Patali Trophy will be brought into Indian hands. England having had it up until this point. I don't think no one's going to be paying money. I'm pretty sure. No, Samant Awashi, at this point in time, no Indian players are tested positive. How could they be at fault? if there's no the breach, it hasn't been termed as a breach at this point. So, no. Or please note that this is a force majeure situation. No one pays anyone anything. Correct. Absolutely. This is not a payment situation whatsoever. So let's not talk about it. India's earned 3-1. That's the other point. We're saying that England have been robbed by a so-called game not being played. It could well have been the complete opposite. They may have been drubbed 3-0, 3-1. So having 2-1 victory may be a better result for them. So it's all irrelevant now. The records will reflect that England have lost this series. India won it. That's it. Yeah, we're talking about IPL and World Cups shortly, but yeah, Chris Morris is the top paid IPL player, can't play for his country. That's weird. Tahir and Faf should have played as well. Great. What about your next on IPL? Yeah, we're going to be watching out for the IPL. It'll be on within a few days, guys. It should be fantastic. Okay. So I've been able to provide that. So we're going. Okay. It's interesting because there has been an editing to the actual discussion. The word forfeit was used. It has been edited out of the document now. So the word was used earlier. It's been taken out. It's just simply a cancellation. So that's, yeah, it's been made pretty clear that Sanjeev Kumar, a learned friend of mine, we'll get a partner in a second. Hang on. Let's get the link. And that's why partner couldn't get on. There we are. We'll see what David comes on. Yep. Okay. The Test series has been better than the IPL match. I would agree with that. I think it's been fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. What I will do is I'll edit that other document that we've got out there, and that will become a discussion on. So the reality is that to have a gravity can't meet on the train. So what we're going to do, guys, we're going to have a fuller debrief or review of the entire series now. Okay. So the reality is we'll have a review of the entire series. I'll probably have that either later today or tomorrow. The reality is that it's quite an incredible situation indeed. Because there's a lot of conjecture there going on. Absolutely. But yeah, it's pretty clear. Guys, would you like me to read the statement once more? It's probably a fair thing to have a look at. It's been a pretty dramatic day. The official statement is out. We received it here via a link from the media component. So the official statement, once again, the word forfeiture is out of it now. And I'll repeat it again. I'm reading straight from the official statement from the ECB. Official statement, the 5th test between England and India has been cancelled. No result, 2-1 to India. Following ongoing concerns with the BCCI, the ECB can confirm that the 5th LV insurance test between England and India, men due to start today at Emirates, Old Trafford, Manchester, will be cancelled. Called off, cancelled. Due to fears of a further increased number of COVID cases inside the camp, Indian team are regrettably unable to field the team. We send our sincerest apologies to fans and partners for this news, which we know will cause immense disappointment and inconvenience to many. Further information will be shared in due course, but that's all we're hearing at this point. There was a bio bubble in the truth. You're right. England have relaxed their conditions somewhat, so the players were still taking precautions. But the reality was, they went out of that, and the likes of Sharp were involved. Tom Harrison, the ECB, one of the chairmen of the ECB, was also involved. Who wins the series, Rick Tech? It's quite certain. There's no doubt that India have won the series 2-1. The Patali Trophy will go to India 2-1. Having been in England's hands, it's now gone over to India 2-1. They must play at least from tomorrow. Manu John, they can't. No, it's not happening. Sorry, not happening. So, you shouldn't be disappointed. It's disappointing the game's not gone ahead, but it's also a good result because India won. That should be a very handsome result. We India should play with the remaining team who detect positives now. At this point, no one's been tested positive. Sad way for a great series to win. Yes, it is sad, and we want to see a fifth test. Manu John, I can't do anything for you. Wikipedia showing series is drawn 2-2. No, Wikipedia is not the official cricket website. Rick Check, please bear with me. Don't start. It's not Wikipedia. It's official. India won the series 2-1, and with the highly prestigious Patali Trophy, the very coveted Patali Trophy. Done. Barami's correct. Barami's all right. Officially, it has been a 2-1 series win. Okay? Very simple. There's no questions about that. Anyone with some good questions to ask? Let's reflect on the series somewhat. Let's reflect on the performances of Rohit Sharma and his amazing century, and the earlier scores, Rahul's century. The performances of Bumrah getting 9 wickets in the first match, Siraj getting 8 in the second. The performances of Shardul Thakur with his 250-plus scores, the Bumrah spell in the fourth test, the batting of Kohli and the captaincy of Kohli, the throwing people, the whole way they approached the Lord's Test and the over were magnificent. Look, they were beaten pretty comprehensively at Headingley, yes. And the first test was a rained-out match, which should have been a victory anyway. So this should have been a fait accompli 3-1. So yeah, let's not be concerned. Let's celebrate, guys. Exactly. And you could argue this would have went India's way as well. Let's celebrate, guys. Hooray, you won the Patali Trophy. Look back at India's history. They've won the Patali Trophy. They've won the Test Series and the Border Gavaskar Trophy in Australia. They won the series against England at home. They've been champions for quite some time now. Okay, so just want to see what partner's coming along. Wouldn't mind partners. Anthony DeMello Trophy. The Anthony DeMello Trophy, is that the one that was in England versus India at home? Correct? Versus India at home, correct. A partner coming? Link. I sent it to you again. I sent it to you. Okay, so Baram Irani, you saying it's the Anthony DeMello Trophy? That was the games between India and England at home? Exactly. England versus India at home was called the so-called, and this is great to have this. So the Anthony DeMello Trophy was what trophy India won at home. The Border Gavaskar Trophy won in Australia. Now the Patali Trophy here in India, there's not much left, is there? They've done well. They've done a magnificent job. Great result, guys. Fantastic. I'm very pleased. Aren't you? You should be ecstatic. You should be. Now both trophies are with individuals. So we'll wait and see what the story is. Root robbed of his chance to take one thing, which, no, I don't think he would have done it this one test, though. It was just 21. Oh, okay. Okay, well, no, but England get to play a test match in December. if not 2, in Australia. So no, we've still got a chance to do that. Okay. Okay. So let's see if she's joined behind the scenes. No, she's not far away. All right. So 2-1 is okay. So Ricky Tech 2-1 is South Africa. We never know what was happening in Manchester. True, but you'd have to think India would have won. So the Anthony de Mello Trophy is the one that won in between England and India. Our independent England had conquered us, but now we've conquered them. Good up here. Now we're getting all historical. Buckle data. How Europe joined us early. Who had given per match conference for India? When was it first? When it was first established? I forget. Look, I think it's a very good decision. If that's now, IPL may also be postponed. I don't think so. We conquered Britain. There you go. That's probably what you want to hear. A and E of Senate is conquered. Okay, there you go. Okay. Yeah, Ricky, don't worry. What people are saying 5th test is postponed. No one's saying that, MR Vinno. It's been officially announced as a cancellation, no result, end of story. Deshado Tucker should be given regular test side. I think so. Do you think India's side against compete New Zealand? Absolutely. New Zealand will be, India will be very prime to beat them. No one's saying that. No, you just, MR Vinno, I'm going to put you on timeout, mate, because you make out rubbish. Okay. So any more questions, guys? For those that are joining us now, please subscribe to the YouTube channel. Hit the subscribe button, please, because I was one of the I was the first to announce it so publicly, and it certainly has come through on the various airways. But I was hopefully one of the few people who was alive, so I'm proud of that. Let's assume that that's created some more people watching me as subscribers. Anyway, what is the series result then? Pratik Garg, it'll be 2 to India, 1 to England, 2-1 series. Patali Trophy, the coveted result has gone to India, and England will renounce it now. India have won it. They've won a few trophies actually. I'm just curious as to the Anthony de Mello Trophy, and now the trophy that we're talking about here. So it's great. Very, very good indeed, guys. I don't know where our guest is. I don't know what she's doing, but yeah. Okay, so it's unfortunate. Yes, guys, I'm pretty much disappointed about it as well. But look, that's the way the cookie crumbles. Coward Englanders, no, they're not. South Africa tour of India is scheduled 3 tests. That's next. Isn't later in the year. Yes, I think after these series, when that is time to rejuvenate the side. A bit early to say that. What is the result then of the series? India's way, of course. Well, David Graving is actually at the moment with the England under-19 and West Indies under-19 match, which is happening in southern England. He's there with Chris Vernon, as a matter of fact. So, yeah. Looks like Aparna's here finally. Aparna Saini.
Hello.
So you saw the official announcement?
Yeah. It's well, what's your call?
Well, the only disappointment really, Aparna, is that the game didn't go ahead. There's no other form of disappointment. India deserved to win the Patali Trophy, which is the trophy they've won now 2-1.
Well, I think England is probably scared. So they might as well call it on the COVID cloud that has come over India's head. use it as an excuse. But no, jokes apart, it's very disappointing because we would have loved to see a game. India's
Absolutely.
performance in the last test um, has been absolutely phenomenal. So was actually very looking forward to it. But well, there's not much we can do about it. It'll be a long time since till we get to see India play again. We have to wait for that. But
Well, we're
yeah,
going
I
to be
mean, it was
seeing
much
Indian
rated
players
match.
playing in the next few weeks in the IPL and the World Cup.
Yeah,
There's
but
plenty happening.
international cricket, I mean, it's international cricket, and with England, it's always a great challenge for India, and
True,
they've always
true.
performed well, or they've learned lessons. So somehow this would have actually would have been a very important match. Not because India wouldn't have won just the series by giving away sort of a situation, but anyway, why we can't hit that. I think COVID is still there, and um, we have to do whatever we can do best dealing with it.
Okay, so let's get this clear, though. They've had a fantastic 12 months. They won the Border Gavaskar Trophy in Australia. They won this trophy, which I keep forgetting the name of, which happened. They won the Border Gavaskar Trophy in Australia with the Gabba at fourth test. They won the Anthony de Mello Trophy against England at home. Now they've won the Patali Trophy in England. Fantastic, fantastic position to be in. Incredible results, really.
Well, India actually hasn't won more than one test, as I said, in England for a long, long time. So since they won the last one, it was already something that all Indian fans out there was looking forward to this match because of it. I mean, there was a great, great enthusiasm and kickstart for Indian fans out there. So yeah, I mean, India has won the series, though not, it wasn't as fruitful as it would have been if we would have played and won it. I mean, but anyway, way, the end game is India won the series by 3-1. So
Well, that's the only way. Well, 2-1. They won it 2-1, and they could well have won it 3-1 if they won the first test if the rain didn't stop play. And this test could have even made it 4-1. So look, they've won.
yeah,
They deserve to win. Let's be honest, they deserve to win. And wouldn't it have been frustrating if, let's just say, India lost that match in the fourth test due to circumstance, or it was a draw? Then we would have had a frustrating result even more so. So India they've taken opportunities. They've won the trophy, and they should be extremely happy.
no, definite. Um, but it was going ahead. I mean, you know, the talks were till today that it was going to go ahead. So I don't know what changed at the last
Well,
minute.
they may have not been happy with the results situation. They had one test where apparently all the players themselves were COVID-19 negative, and there was a second stage to those tests which hadn't come through yet. It may have taken a day or two. They probably were fearful to start the test match under that cloud, and then they found out later. I guess it's a fair comment that they've actually said they were unable to field a team with certainty due to COVID-19, which is out of their control. They in England decided to cancel the series, cancel the test match, not the series. So that's a fair call. I'm very proud of England actually taking the situation where they could easily have, in their thoughts of, basically been able to get a chance to win the match, but they've played fair. They've seen that the occupational health and safety reasons, they couldn't confirm that the safety was there, and they decided to play. Good decision, really. All it does is tell me that for the test match, the IPL, or more so the World Cup. The World Cup, the sides have got 3 reserves. They've got 15 in the squad and 3 reserves. That makes 18 players. Why not have 22 players and have 11 of them sitting away, maybe the whole 11 sitting somewhere else in case through the World Cup there's a COVID scare. Then you can bring in a completely new side. They may have start to perhaps consider that.
Yeah, I've been seeing in the comments. Someone said, Rick Tech, BCCI cancelled if they fear IPL may be affected with the test match. I think probably that is one of the reasons as well. But it's not the BCCI who has cancelled it. I mean, it's ECB and BCCI combined decision to start with. So we're getting far ahead for thinking about the IPL being affected with this test match. I mean, the end of the day, the safety is important, and no one wants to, that has to be let down for at a cost of a match. Um, so may it will be. When do you think, Norman, Indian team would be going back?
Well, okay. Look, there's some comments here. I'm going to make this very clear. Ritesh Raj is saying, once done and dusted 2-1 or 2-2. There's no 2-1 or 2-2. It's 2-1. So that's completely out of question.
Yes.
In terms of investigation of Ravi Shastri, the COVID bio bubble is somewhat different now because they've relaxed a lot of the laws regarding the biosecurity bubble. If there are other dignitaries like ECB officials like Tom Harrison there, well, then perhaps there's more than one caper there. I can't imagine there'll be any true problem with the way that happened. I think there'll be no fines. I don't think there'll be anything. It'll be just left at that. Hang on. It'll be left at that. Hang on. It'll be left at that, guys. There'll be no further fines or anything to that effect. We'll have a situation where, what are you doing, Apana, with you? You're going black. Don't play with your screen.
I was getting a call.
Oh, okay. All right, so Apana looks, Arnold Jingle, who loves to talk about my beard and what have you, he's now talking about your skin. You look lighter today.
Who's that?
Arnold Jingle is a crazy character.
I look straight up. Well, you haven't had sun in Sydney for it's been pretty cold. Waiting for the summer, I guess, so I can get nice and tan.
The reality is that, okay, there is a UAE starting on the 19th of September. Today is the 10th. The quarantine, I believe, is 6 days. So the players, if they're all being tested heavily, will be able to still go to the IPL and maybe miss the first couple of matches at worst, but they'll all take part. I'm sure that it's not going to be too much of a disruption to that anyway. And don't forget, they were meant to be playing 5 days in this match with 10th, 11th, 12th. They were here to the 14th, 15th anyway. So they would have been delayed in their arrival. So now they can actually expedite their departure and be in the quarantine in the UAE. So I don't think there'll be any true delays. Any sports says Boria has the match cancelled for now. It may be played next year. No, that's absolute garbage. Boria would not have said that. Boria was cancelled. Full stop. You can't play a 5th test match next year. That's ridiculous. Impossible. A cancellation is not a postponement, guys. So Sergeant Manjul, that's not true. The words "it may be played next year" is not come out of Boria's mouth. Okay. Any word for when it will announce what happens to the last test? No, it's not been played. When you cancel a match. Yeah. When you cancel a match, it's cancelled. It's not a postponement or a delay. It's cancelled. Gone. No longer an event.
Exactly. Someone said Indian team who didn't want to play because of COVID scared and may affect IPL. Well, I don't think so. It's the Indian team that has to decide. I mean, they had ongoing conversation with the BCCI, ECB, and it is a combined sort of decision based on they fear that the increased number of COVID cases inside the camp, in the camp. So they want to avoid that. And any investigation on Ravi Shastri, and I think that's just it's not something that he is to be blamed. As Norman said, that there was relaxations on the COVID bubble, so things happen.
If the players and the coaching staff and physios and all of the group were given conditions where they couldn't go to an event, they wouldn't have went to the event. Period. Okay, I'm pretty sure that Ravi Shastri, this event that took place where he apparently became COVID-19 positive, if he wasn't allowed to go to that event, he wouldn't have gone. Full stop. Pretty sure. Yeah, Aniket Kumar's right. Let's talk about the series win. That India have won the series 2-1, deservedly so. They won at Lord's and, of course, at the Oval. They lost to Hedling pretty badly, but they almost won in the first test at
the
Trent
first
Bridge.
Test was India's. I mean, rain wouldn't have happened. I think might as well would have been on India's name. The win of the first Test as well.
India deserved to win the series. Regardless of the 5th Test, India deserved to win the series. And we should congratulate them. Well done. Brilliant effort. Rohit Sharma's century in the 4th Test, Rahul's century, I think it was on the 1st Test, if I'm not wrong. The efforts of, or 2nd Test, it may have been. The efforts of Bumrah, 9 wickets in the first match, and his wickets at the end of the 4th Test match. Siraj got 8 in the 2nd Test match. Consistent 50s from Kohli. Pujara got 50s. Thakur's was amazing in the 4th Test with bat and ball. Punt played well, especially with his batting in the last match. Brilliant effort. Great bowling unit. I mean, fantastic. They deserved it. Very clear that Joe Root and Chris Silverwood, the coach of England, both were very open with their, superlatives for the way that they won the match. Good on.
Yeah, and even Rohit Sharma, I mean, he has been a revolution for Team India, as he's scoring runs freely and with utmost dominance. Even Virat Kohli awaited century was something that we got to see, but was another setback with this 5th Test. Was probably there were people out there expecting that we might be able to see finally Virat Kohli's century. I guess we have to wait a little longer.
Well, I don't think that's really a concern. We're going to see some coverage. I'm assuming we'll see some coverage. I'm not sure whether there is any coverage, but regarding the way in which the trophies will be handed out. We'll wait and see. It was meant to start at 7 o'clock, 7:30. So I'm waiting for some commentary regarding.
Yeah, but with the England team, they were underconfident. Looked like in last Test match as well. I don't know. There's a few decisions that the ECB has to make on the selection. I think, as I said very in the beginning, since they lost Ben Stokes, the whole England team was in strokes. By the time they were able to recover, India has already taken the series away, snatched it off the hand. That's pretty much sums up this series between India and England turned out to be. And well, good on Indian team. I mean, they performed very well. There were ups and downs, but altogether, Virat Kohli's captaincy and the way he has come out in his individual game as well has worked out very well for Indian team out there. So now, as much as disappointing it must be, but I think Indian fans out there, including myself and Norman, is in our camp, isn't it, Norman?
Yes.
Yeah, so he's an Indian team supporter. They're very happy with India taking this series home.
Oh, look, it's been fantastic. There's no doubt about it. It's been a great series. And look, I keep repeating, the series against Australia, the Border Gavaskar Trophy, India's, the De Mello, I think it's called, trophy, which was at home for India. India won over England. Now, yet again, the Patali Trophy, India's won. 3 major series out in a row they've won. This is great news. The rest is here now.
Hi, Norman.
How are you, Naresh?
I'm good.
Say hello to Aparna.
Hi, Aparna. How are you?
Good. How are
Long
you?
time.
Good to see you.
Good.
I know.
Yeah.
We're very disappointed with what has. Did you see the news? I mean, Indian. The test in India won the series, though. Very looking forward for the 5th Test today. I mean, didn't happen.
Yeah, and that's the risk of a very tight kind of schedule of everything that's happening around, So tough one, yeah.
Well, I mean, hang on,
guys.
Let's not forget that India's won the series now.
Yeah.
That's a great result. Should be ecstatic about that. Not that you want to win.
Yeah, and they've won the series after last Test match performance that they've given us. So well deserved. I mean, we can't say they didn't deserve or it was giveaway from this result because it didn't happen. I mean,
absolutely. And both the games in London, Lords and Oval, and it cannot be that England doesn't have issues, the massive issues in their entire batting setup. So that is something which they have to look at before they get into the Ashes. And most important, it's good that 3 months of cricket we saw in England. India has been there for just about 3 months, from the start of the finals. So
I'm sure they'll be happy to go home. Well,
yeah, the thing is that they're not going home.
They're
They're not going home. They're not going home. Yeah. They have another about 6 weeks, 6 to 7 weeks to spend in UAE, or rather more, 2 months rather. 14
It's
November is
actually
the
really
final.
2
Yeah.
months.
2 months, yeah.
It's
14
November the
November.
14th. So it's 2
Yeah.
months.
2 months UAE. They come back immediately. There is 2 tests with New Zealand, and I think then South Africa. The first test in South Africa is on 17th. So and that is what it is. This calendar is so cramped. These kind of contingencies have not been factored in, and that's very, very tough.
Oh God, yeah. It's quite a.
Probably they don't want to risk, all the schedule that they have ahead to be impacted by something which is too close to getting, the COVID situation, which has turned out to be a very unfortunate situation.
Very unfortunate, yeah.
But don't you think,
Norman?
But don't you think that India will now be able to concentrate on the fact they've won and celebrate that?
Oh, definitely. It's an achievement. Yeah, yes, it's a big achievement to win a series in England, and most important, to end the series topping the championship point table. Though it's early, it's just the first series, but it's a good start. Similar to the last cycle, it was West Indies which India toured and won, but this is a big one. It's a tough series. Australia, England, and South Africa, New Zealand. These 4 is what India is focusing on. So I think it's definitely something for them to cherish. But obviously they can't do it. They'll have to be in isolation. They can't celebrate. But the point is now
India win. No, they can celebrate. Of course, they're going to celebrate.
Now it depends on how many days of isolation they need, because IPL is just 10 days away. So there is an impact on IPL for sure to start with.
But they got the fortunate luck of starting a bit early, because if they leave after the Test match, which would have been the 14th, 15th, Naresh, and then you add on quarantine on top of that, it's almost equal to starting quarantine now.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, that's what it is. But that depends how many days, and what is the protocol of UAE on their acceptance of the team coming in. How many days quarantine would they had asked for prior to arrival? So all those things need to be looked at.
I believe it's 6 days is the quarantine.
Well, what do you think, Naresh? There's news that Indian players has written a letter regarding their concerns about playing this 5th test. What's your call? What they're thinking, and what sort of letter it could have been, due to which the decision has been made?
See, because I think it's a very understandable, that concern, because it could have happened in the middle of the match. Actually, it happened in the middle of the game, the 4th test. Ravi Shastri was tested positive in the middle of the 4th test. I think any other team would have immediately stopped the game. India went on to complete the game, irrespective of the situation of the game. And this takes time. Like the assistant physio has got it yesterday. So everyone knows that you need multiple days and multiple tests to actually be assured that you are negative. Otherwise, you are always in the fear of being positive. So that is the precaution the team has taken, and have gone ahead that they would not want to continue playing.
Oh, look, there's no doubt.
Well, it's a smart decision.
Definitely, it's for everyone's good, and England needs to also consider that, because in the end they're playing on the same field. They are mingling with the players on the field.
Exactly.
So So it's I think a rightly called precautionary measure taken, because once there is an outbreak, there is an outbreak, whether it's one person or 2. Like what happened with Sri Lanka tour. When Sri Lankan team returned from England, there were 2 support staff who had tested positive. The entire team went into 7 days isolation, and then the series started, because at least that time the series gave time, because the squad was different. Indian squad was different. It gave time for them to factor those 7 days and start late. But you have to take the precaution once you know around you. It's simple, right? If someone around me whom I have met has tested positive, I'll have to go into isolation for a few days for precaution. It's the same thing. Yeah.
No, I agree
But,
100%.
okay, but the reality is, it's no one's fault. Okay, we can't
It's no one's fault.
assign
It's
fault
no
here.
one's fault. Yeah. It's no one's
The
fault,
rea-
but yes, it's very unfortunate to link the IPL coming in. It's just that because it is there in the calendar 10 days from now. The question is, what if this was the second test or the third test? You would have had to
Right.
cancel one test match to finish it and shorten the series as it is. So it's the same thing happening. 90% of the matches on this tour have already happened. It's just one test. So it's something without no one has control over this. You need to just accept it and move on. And
It's like
WTC rules say,
weather.
yeah, it's like
I
weather.
mean,
What if
listen,
Manchester has 5 days of rain? Yeah,
Yeah, they had
okay,
2 days of rain predicted already. So what was
yeah,
it? Was it worth taking the risk? I don't think so. If you really look at it, I mean, 2 days of rain, then taking the risk, getting the players mingling each other, increased chance of getting COVID. Um, I think it's a smart decision to be made, and it's as Naresh said, most of the series has happened, and um, it's just shortening the series. It's worth doing it as much.
yeah.
Everyone did
okay.
wanted to see the match today, but yeah.
Let's go back to the beginning of this year. Obviously, we had test match issues in Australia with crowds, but when it came to Australia going to South Africa, they didn't go. They literally cancelled the tour against South Africa because they couldn't go to South Africa. Number one. Then look at situations where England played Pakistan in the T20 ODI series, where England, the whole team was taken out. They put in a completely new side to play that match so as not to lose time. They were lucky to do that because they were in England and players all over the place. Okay, they were lucky.
Yes.
India, who have a limited number of players on tour, if it's not just the 11 that were playing, it was the whole squad that couldn't play because they were in the same bubble or whatever you want to call it. So it's not just the Indian team, it's the entire Indian squad, which means India have not got 11 players just floating around England waiting to play. Otherwise, they would have been able to continue the match with a completely different 11. That could have been the result. If by some fluke England had an India A team somewhere else in England, separated completely, they may well have brought that side in.
Yeah, but there is no bio bubble in England now. Yes, India says there. Yeah. And to add one more point, when England toured South Africa and then they returned back, I think there was some cases in the hotel or started with the hotel staff.
Yeah.
So that's what these are out of control, and I think that is what ICC has factored into the WTC, that if there is an outbreak during the tour, the match is abandoned. So there is an attempt made. The series went on. Yeah.
The original statement that came out that I received had the word forfeiture in it, and they changed it.
Yeah, you read it. Yeah, they've changed it. Yeah, forfeit is.
Because I read it out so early, I might have prompted that because I as soon as I got it, I was on the blower talking about it. So the reality is that there's the word forfeiture, postponement, delay, not in this question. It's a direct cancellation, cancelled by the ECB, by the way.
Exactly.
England have cancelled because of India's inability to provide a side that have been a part of this conjecture. And look, it's out of India's hands. It's not India's fault. It's no one's fault. It's the circumstances we're living in at the moment. You know what you could have argued, Naresh? You could have argued that perhaps the relaxing of the bio bubble shouldn't have occurred for this series. Even though England's situation has improved, maybe they should have still had that stringent bio bubble in place for everyone, including the coach, which they obviously didn't. So arguably, that was a relaxation they probably didn't need to have. But anyway, it's we're gonna find out in Australia what happens there too, because it's going to be okay. Now there was a point here just quickly from there's no way a fifth test match is going to happen next year. That's absolute garbage. I mean, the IPL was postponed, but that was the only word used. There was no cancellation. IPL never used the word cancellation. They used the word postponement. So that's garbage.
No, I don't see that happening. I mean, once it's cancelled, it's cancelled. There's no way. I don't know. Someone has written there that Bodia, I mean, a great friend of me and Norman, I think if Naresh knows him as well.
Yeah,
I don't think so that he would make that statement, even if he has. I mean, because this information has just come out. So as much as we are all observing this information, I don't think so there is any value to it. I mean, I'm not sure, but I highly
No,
doubt
you're
that
right. You're
if
right.
he
But
would
it's
have
pretty
made any
certain
statement like that.
there's certainly not going to be a fifth test, is that?
Well, I'm not sure
I do
if he
like
would
this.
have made that statement. Someone is written in the comments. So I think me and Norman will ring him and ask him if he has. Maybe we are wrong. And it might be happening. You don't know. But I think it's very unlikely.
Yeah, correct. What is interesting, though, Baran Marani's obviously got his notes on him. The World Test Championship playing conditions, however, seem to deem that a COVID-19 outbreak within a team is an acceptable reason for tests to be abandoned. Of course it is. It's beyond their control. I mean, it's an outbreak that you can't control. You can do your best to prevent it, but you can't. It can happen anywhere. We all know that. And Charlotte Mungiel's trying to make out that I'll take my words that there's no way they're going to play a fifth test. It's out of the question. The fact is,
that's optimistic fans of Indian team.
I don't know why an Indian fan. Okay, it's disappointing the test match not being played, but I wouldn't be concerned being an Indian fan because India won.
No, optimistic fans. They still want to see one more match. One more match.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's bad. People have traveled from all over UK to Manchester. Hotel
it's
booking,
disheartening.
match tickets. Yeah. So logistically, yes, it does. Feel bad about all those things. And that's the thing. It's out of anyone's control. So.
Yeah,
certainly.
It doesn't make any sense to play a fifth test a year later. It's not the same series. There'll be different players available. All sorts of conditions will be involved. It's just not a part of the series anymore. You can play a one-off test match, but that's not going to mean anything.
And Norman, your point on the bio bubble, if there was a strict bio bubble, India wouldn't have accepted the calendar of WTC and then 6 weeks stay in UK without cricket and then a series. India would have said that we want to go home and travel again, or just change the WTC final close to the series so that you have back-to-back games. But yeah, it's very tough. You need to even give it to the schedule people who are scheduling this from the ICC and the board's perspective. It's going to be a very tough one. But yeah, if you're traveling between countries and all, you need to give that 14 days gap in between, which is not happening now. You're flying to Dubai in 5 days if this test was on, and then there you're going into a big World Cup coming up, and then coming back home for a test series against New Zealand. It's extremely tight. You can change teams. You can make 3 teams out of what you have, but the schedule is just not fitting in with all the other issues around.
I mean, it's absolutely ridiculous. We're playing an IPL within only a week's time, then straight into a World Cup, then straight into other series all over the world. Australia won't be playing Afghanistan, that's for sure.
Yeah, that's not happening.
But did you know that as we speak, Bangladesh under-19 men's is playing Afghanistan under-19 men's? There's actually a match playing today.
I haven't followed it.
But it's just interesting. ICC will have to very soon make a call across the board about Afghanistan. I don't think they can allow bits and pieces to play here and there, and maybe Bangladesh accepting because they're of a Muslim background. Who knows? That's not good enough. They're going to have to do something across the board. If Afghanistan are not going to acknowledge women playing Test cricket or any cricket at an international level, then you can't arguably have them play in the tournament. I'm sorry, or any tournament, and that should go men's and women's. You
Well, I
can't
think
you can't allow a
No, but
men's team.
due to the
they'll have a
ongoing
wait and
tension in
watch.
Afghanistan, no
Yeah.
comments. Well,
They'll wait and watch.
yeah,
They'll wait and watch. I think after the World Cup, you can expect something formal happening. They'll wait and watch.
Oh yeah, I'm not knocking Afghanistan. I'm not knocking Taliban. But if they've got a philosophy or a policy, it's, with all due respect, it's their decision. But they can't be allowed. We can't encourage having men only play, not women play. That won't be in the calling of cricket, and we'll respectfully not be able to let them play. But they and I'm again, it's their religious and ethical decisions to do that, and I'm not responsible if that's their decision. But we can't let the world continue having them involved if they have that condition in other areas of the world. It's a hard one. I mean, it's not easy no matter which way you look at it. But yeah, anything we're saying which is conjecture. Boria General, I'll talk to Boria later. Boria may have surmised that might be going on, but I'd be surprised whether it will be at all.
me too.
I think it's evolving. Norman, it's evolving. We'll have to wait for an official conclusion and an announcement of what the plan is. Yeah.
I can't see England demanding to have a fifth Test match somewhere else. I can't see that, and nor can I see them demanding to get points because it was forfeiture. There's no way England are too respectful to do that. They won't do that.
I think if the schedule wasn't that tight, there would have been a delay or delay for a day or two. But as Naresh
I
said,
agree, Aparna, because to be fair, I think everything is because of the IPL not getting completed on time. That's because that had to be fit into this decided calendar. So to be fair on that bit, but now it's too late to move anything in from this current calendar.
exactly. Indeed.
Yeah,
so obviously it's not going to be picking up from next year. Then okay. So do you guys remember that India and England played till fourth test? Now we're going to see the fifth test. Turn your TV on, and there we go. It's not going to happen.
That won't happen.
I think most people were predicting India would have won this match anyway. To be honest with you,
Yeah.
I think anywhere in the box need to win this.
For sure. I mean,
all right, guys.
Yeah.
We might let you two go. We've discussed a lot.
Yeah.
I'll have a full debrief of the series probably tomorrow, where we can talk only about the series and how it went, rather than this announcement, which is really about the cancellation of the match. But thank you, Aparna.
Thank you,
And
Norman. Thank you, Naresh. I think we have to
Thanks,
observe the
Aparna.
information, and we can come back and talk about it more in the next round.
We talk cricket. We don't talk anything off cricket.
Love talking cricket.
You both could talk hair. You both got pretty nice hair there. Sure.
Thank you. When the lockdown is finished, I hope, Norman, you find your way to the barber.
What barber? There's no barber. I've got no hope of getting a barber.
But when the restrictions are over.
When? As of when?
I think mid-October, when we start with 70% population would be vaccine, as the Premier said. Yeah.
Have you had both your vaccines now?
Well, my second shot is soon, yeah. So I would be in that 70% that would be fully vaccinated before the restrictions are lifted.
So we here may get into some restrictions because of the festival season starting. So that precaution, they don't want crowds around. Aparna would know the Ganesh festival that happens in India,
huge.
especially this huge it is, and there are a lot of people outside. So they want to put some restrictions around that. Especially where I am in Pune and Bombay, there is already a curfew announced for not having big crowds around. But it's going to be tough to kind of keep a check on those things.
Diwali is coming as well. That's another one.
So there's going to be festivals back to back throughout now till the end of the year. So it's going to be tough. We could manage it last year, but every year people not celebrating is another few things that doesn't go well with people. So, but it's tough how to manage. But the vaccination rate is very good. It's very high in India now. Daily vaccination.
Oh my God! India, if we would be doing in Australia, I think in 2 days or 3 days or max 1 week, the whole population would have been vaccinated.
Whole population would have
8-9 million doses every day.
Yeah.
So I should be. You reminded me. Thank you, sir. I should be saying happy Ganesh Chaturthi.
Ganesh Chaturthi,
Happy Ganesh Chaturthi.
Yeah. To you too. The auspicious time starts now. So.
Thank you. Just quickly, Sunday I'm going to be interviewing, hopefully Boria. Majumdar, but also the co-author of the book Mission Domination, which will be an interesting book to discuss with the authors. Have you seen that book, Naresh? Have you seen that book?
I saw your post. I think Boria and another gentleman, right? It's a co-written book.
Yeah, the man. I'll just confirm. I should have all these details in front of me.
We'll see. I might be joining. We'll talk after the show.
Kushan Sarkar. Kushan Sarkar was the co-author with Boria Majumdar, called Mission Domination. He will be with me on Sunday on a live broadcast. And also, Aparna and I are going to visit a very famous entrepreneur who was responsible for amazing things like Shane Warne's hair contracts and Bill Clinton and Kim Kardashian. His name is Max Markson from Marks and Sparks. Both Aparna and I will be interviewing him and going into his office, which is amazing. It's got the most amazing history of sport, personalities, TV, movies, everything.
So if you see Norman involved in some sort of controversy, I think you know the man to be blamed.
If I get involved with the controversy, I'm going straight to Max Markson for his advice, because he's the go-to man for all that sort of stuff. All right, guys, I'll let you both go.
A lot of preparations going on for the next year T20 World Cup. I do follow the page, CAB page. I follow Cricket Australia. So a lot of job vacancies are there. A lot of recruitment is happening for the preparation. Yeah. Hope things are normal.
So we're going to be talking about the IPL and World Cup in the ensuing weeks as well. Plenty going on. Thanks to you both for being here today. I really appreciate it.
Thanks, Norman. Thanks,
Thank you. Thank you. Have a good one.
All right, guys. Take care. Take care. Take care, guys. So, believer, it's a cancellation. It's not a postponement or a forfeit, okay? And I'm sorry people don't like the fact that I was pretty strong. The reality is that there'll be no test match next year on its own. Highly unlikely, okay? All right, so if anyone is online now, please make sure you view, like, and share the post. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. In fact, please hit the subscribe. The people that are online, please hit the subscribe button and subscribe away if you haven't. Hit the notification button, which obviously a lot of you have done. View, like, and share. My @NormKoch is both my Twitter and my Instagram accounts. I have a LinkedIn page and a Facebook page as well called Norman Kochnik. So please. Yeah, the negotiation is still going, but it'll be very unlikely that anything like that. Okay. Please change my community post. What's wrong with my community post? What have I said to my community post? So, Ankit Agarwal, what have I said that's I can cancel. I'll take note of that. Just hang on. But yeah, we'll yeah, it is worth noting. Okay. That's what you're referring to. Please change the post. Okay. Is this the last test match before December? Well, India play New Zealand in 2 test matches. I'm thinking that's around November, December. It may well be November. And then, of course, England play Australia in the Ashes as well. The Afghanistan test match looks like it's not happening. India has won the series crickets. Any good? Only as good they have fast updates. Why am I not having a fast update? Okay, go ask ECB with there's no protocol. Okay. Do you use a digital camera or use a camera? Okay. Drinks to Ravi Bhai. Who's Ravi Bhai? All right, guys. we'll just go about that. We'll see if there's any updates coming through of the other matters. The fact is that it is a cancellation. That's clear. And I'll look at the posting one more time for you. It's clear there was a change made. All Indian players tested negative yesterday. Exactly. So that yeah, there's still changes being made. They do use the word forfeiture. They've taken it out. It's not going to be down. England won't fight this. England lost the series fair and square, and that's all you can discuss at this point. Yeah, that's no. I guess what we need to also consider is Pujar and Rawat and Sharman are safe. Are they okay? How are you so this? Ravi Bhai refers to Ravi brother, Ravi Shastri. Okay. Alfred Rose has got a big question mark here. Do you want to know what's going on? There's no game because the actual match has been officially. For those who are just coming on now that may not have seen what has happened, I will read it out to you one more time. Okay, this is the official statement which has now come out, which has been amended. Following ongoing conversation with the BCCI, the ECB can confirm that the 5th LV insurance test between England and India, men's that is, due to start at Emirates Old Trafford, Manchester, which will be due to start in 38 minutes, Old Trafford, Manchester, will be cancelled. One word. Due to fears of a further increase in the number of COVID cases inside the camp, India are regrettably unable to fill the team. Full stop. We send our sincerest apologies to fans and partners, whether it's broadcast partners or business partners, for the news, which we know will cause immense disappointment and inconvenience to many. Further information will be shared in due course. That's all. So yes, the series is 2-1 victory to India, and that's quite certain. There is no delay to that situation. Kuldeep Das, you even missed your office today for the test. What's this? James Anderson? Well, I don't. I would have received something on that. That's highly unlikely. Pretty sure James Anderson hasn't. No. Jacques Hassan Malhotra hit 6 sixes for the USA versus PNG. Yeah, there's pretty clear evidence. The ICC's final test as between England has been cancelled after COVID, rendering the visitors unable to fill the team. Yeah, there's no evidence of anything, James Anderson. So we're not going to take that into account at this point. Yes, when you're one dude, how many times you wasn't him to repeat that? Exactly. I forgot. I like that. Well, Anderson played Ashes series will retire by then. Well, I think he won't retire until next year, quite frankly. And he, now the fact that Jimmy hasn't had a chance to play in his home ground, it almost seals the deal that he'll be playing next year. All right, guys, we might end it there. I think I may come back later to discuss any further updates. Well, I'll do a full review of the series, certainly. Okay? Do a review of the series, certainly. That'll be one thing that we should do. All right. So on that note, guys, I'll end the broadcast and thank you again for your time. A very good hit out. All right. So, okay. So again, thanks for joining us today on Eyes on Cricket with Norman Kochnek. You'll see the broadcasters there. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so already. Hit the notification button at Norm Koch, both Instagram and Twitter, and my Facebook and my LinkedIn pages under Norman Kochnek. So Baram's gone. He was here. Thank you very much. Bye-bye, Norman, and all. See you later, guys. All the best. Talk soon. We'll probably get together, guys, tomorrow to do a complete debrief of the whole series. This will be fantastic to do that. Bye.